It's you. It's you. Ryan. It's you, Ethan, me, Sam. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's just give a little fake run through of how we're going to start real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fisher's Game. To pump those guys up. All right? Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fisher's Game Day. I'm Ethan Poto, joined here on the table with Ethan Gardner here next to me, and on the end we got Ryan Mitchell, and to my left, Samuel Keithley. I mean, we're looking to have a great show tonight. We've got Fisher's Tigers taking on the Avon Orioles. We've got a good game for you. I see our Tigers warming up. It's looking like it's going to be a fun time. Gentlemen, what do you say we get into a little bit of last week's game with Fishers in Brownsburg? Ryan, you want to start us off?
Yeah, it was a tough loss for the Tigers, and just the most glaring issue was the defense. A lot of the secondary was either out or hurt. Big names of that are our starting safety Reagan, our starting outside corner Leo Morrow. It was just a banged up unit, and they gave up 42 points, and we lost 42 to 28. It's just a tough loss there.
Yeah, the offense really kept us in the game there. Bennett Gorak had a phenomenal game on the first and second half. He really came out firing. Overall, the offense played really well. Sakai stepped in a very, very important role with Kobe going out due to a shoulder injury, so I want to highlight that for sure. He played outstanding last week and stepped up in a very, very big scenario.
Yeah, and just kind of going off what Ethan said there, I mean, we just had some great nights from Bennett Gorak and John Anthony. I mean, it was just a fun game to watch. Of course, Bennett kind of went off here in the second half, and he really just had a lot of points going on, and it was a lot of fun to watch. There was a specific play in the third quarter that I remember he had to dive over someone to get the extra point conversion, and boy, it was fun to watch. Sam?
Yeah, touching back on what Ethan said, Kobe Martin had to exit the game early due to the shoulder injury, and that's going to keep him out again tonight. Kobe's really the backbone of this offense, so seeing him go down is a really big loss. But like Ethan also said, Sakai Bogle, he's been a really solid replacement for Kobe. He's carrying the rushing game right now, and I expect him to do that again tonight.
And I'd have to agree with you, Sam. Gentlemen, what do you say we kick it off and start from some games last week, some matchups we saw last week. Starting out with me, we'll start out with HSC versus Westfield. Score was 30-28. Westfield actually got the W. I have to say, yeah, scored on the last play of the game. I mean, they squeezed it through, but I'll tell you what, a little bit of an upset considering that it was played at HSC. But gentlemen, I got to tell you, I'm not very upset at all. I mean, HSC losing, I think the fans went more crazy for that than they did for a touchdown. I got to be honest with you. It was a lot of fun to watch. A little bit of stats from those games and a little bit about their players. So HSC's quarterback Chandler Weston has 9 touchdown passes this season, and Westfield's quarterback Jackson Gilbert has 8 touchdowns this season. Just a few stats. Both teams looking really stacked here going into week 6, and I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to watching it. Gentlemen, let's touch on a little bit more games. Sam, if you want to get us in on Zionsville versus Noblesville.
Yeah, the Millers, they actually won this game 24-7 against Zionsville. They've looked really good. This was their homecoming game. Their defense really shined. Like I said, only giving up 7 points. Zionsville, they've been really inconsistent this year. They're 3-2 total and only 1-2 in the conference. They only beat Pike by 3, which is a team Fishers blew out earlier this year. But then at the same time, they had a great game against Westfield, who's one of the best teams in the state, only losing by 1. So you really never know what to see from the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to take us through Franklin Central versus Avon, which is kind of the opposite of Sam's game, as he mentioned. It was a very defensive showing from the Millers, and this game was the complete opposite. It was a shootout with a Franklin Central W, 31-28. Some star players in this game: FC's quarterback Nevin Totoro. He had 195 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns on 15 completions, so that's pretty efficient work right there from their quarterback. Another star on their offense that showed up was Jayon Harvey, the running back. He had 12 carries for 118 yards, and on those carries, he averaged 9.8 a carry. So almost every time he's getting the ball, it was a first down for that FC offense. That's just hard to stop. And on the opposite side of the ball, losing Avon's quarterback, Mason Reynolds. I threw this guy's stat line in there because it was honestly impressive. 197 yards on 2 touchdowns. That's a great stat line. He did all that on 9 completions. You want to talk about efficiency from the position. That's absolutely unbelievable efficiency there from Avon's quarterback, Mason.
Yeah, it was a really fun week all around the conference. A lot of high-scoring games, a lot of points around the league. Next segment, we're going to move into some power rankings around the conference. Number 1, obviously, we got to go with our Tigers. They've looked outstanding all year, offensively and defensively. They've had a few hiccups, and they've suffered to a few injuries, but other than that, they've looked great. And I really think they can make some noise in the postseason. Second on the list, we do have Brownsburg. Brownsburg is, like I said, Fishers last week. The offense played well, defense played well. They look outstanding. They're one of the best teams in the state, and like I said, they're going to make some noise this postseason as well. Poto?
In a close third, we've got Westfield coming in at our 3rd place, and what a strong team, a good defensive end on their team. It's quite fun watching Westfield play, and Zionsville right behind them. They're number 4 for us. Yeah, so far we've got Fishers 1, Brownsburg 2, Westfield 3, Zionsville 4, and our 5th, Sam.
Our 5th, we got the Noblesville Millers, a team led by senior running back Logan Schaffner. This team is they got a great defense that keeps them in every game, and their offense can do just enough to win them some ball games. So yeah. And then 6th, we got Franklin Central. You know, once you get 4 through 6, anything's really interchangeable, so it's kind of hard to tell, but Franklin Central, they're a little bit weaker than Zionsville and Noblesville. Offense just isn't quite there.
Teams, but moving on to our 8th, I think this one was pretty obvious. We've got HSC coming in at 8. I mean, just all around, their team's all right. I mean, they do some stuff right, they do some stuff wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the wrong outweighs the good. And really just watching them play, you kind of see the lousy offense, lousy defense. They've not really got a lot to offer us. It's not very fun to watch them play, gentlemen, I got to be honest. I'd rather just watch our Tigers all the time, you know, because, I mean, HSC is nothing. I mean, 3 letters is their team name. I mean, what is that, right? It's like, come on. All right. Also, if we want to get a little bit into our, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Kobe Martin committed to IU. Anything to add on that, Sam?
Well, as soon as he got this offer from a Big Ten team, it seems like he wasn't interested in Miami, Ohio anymore. You know, Big Ten, best of the best. Some of the best college football you'll see, and I think he's going to do great in an IU uniform, carrying that offense. You know, by senior year, I'm calling it Heisman candidate. Wow. You heard it here first. Kobe Martin, Heisman candidate for the Indiana Hoosiers.
I mean, we already know how he looks in red. I got to tell you, I'm excited to see what it looks like in Crimson. I mean, IU is his school.
Yeah, it's a really good spot for him. It was interesting to see him decommit from Miami, as that was a really good spot for him as well, but no surprise to see him go to IU. It's an awesome school. Great fit for him. I'm excited to see what he can do there. I really think he can fit in that offense and make some noise in that offense. Ryan?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a big loss to the offense tonight not having him out there, but I think it's going to be a big jolt in the locker room. Knowing that they got a Big Ten running back right next to them, I think it's just going to hype the guys up even more to get the job done at the end of the season.
Absolutely.
Couldn't agree more.
What else is there to say? You know, Kobe Martin, what does he have, 12 touchdowns this year? I mean, unbelievable. He's really going to be missed tonight. Hopefully we can get him back soon for next week. Love to see him play. He's the real 24.
You know, and I think that's well said. Also, you guys know my favorite, Bennett Gorak, but I have to be honest, I've been watching Kobe through these last few games, and his explosive power through the line of scrimmage really just, I mean, it's insane to watch. He finds the gap so easily, and wow, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some Corvettes pulling up on us, and I gotta tell you, these things look quite nice. I mean, the red matching the Fishers, wow. Wow. Let's see here. Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah, so I don't know as many of you know, but one of our hosts here, he's celebrating his birthday tomorrow. So we have to give him a huge birthday shout out, Mr. Ethan Gardner here on my left, turning the big 18. Let's give it up for Ethan. What do you got to say? What do you got to say?
I appreciate it. I'm very blessed to see 18 years, and hopefully there's many more. Real quick, I want to touch, tonight is our homecoming game. We have homecoming tomorrow night. It's just a great atmosphere. I'm really excited to see people out there tomorrow night. Really excited for this weekend.
And just kind of touching on tonight as well. I mean, the student section's looking quite colorful. We got neon tonight. Interesting to see our Tigers kind of straying away from the whole red and white theme. I think it's fun to see, really. And I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to homecoming. Looking forward to seeing what's going on. But yeah, I mean, we've got a good matchup tonight. Avon, of course, we haven't really seen a lot of them in the past, but it's going to be interesting to see the matchup. I'm excited to see Bennett against the defense that isn't so defensive of the pass. I'm excited to see him be able to throw the ball and escape the pocket. It's going to be a fun one to see.
What are we talking about? Our game picks? X Factors? All right, so exciting our, player spotlight X Factor for today's game. For today's game, I'm choosing my X Factor as Leo Morrow. He's coming off 2 games not playing, and I think he's just really hungry to get out there and play ball with his boys again. If we could throw up his stats from last season, he had a killer season last year, and he's really trying to make a statement, try to go D1. He's telling me that's one of his goals. So yeah, last season he had 59 total tackles, 5 TFLs, 5 tackles for losses. He had a sack and 3 picks. That is great numbers, especially as a junior. And this year, coming back out, he's hungry. And I think he's going to go get him another great season under his belt.
Yeah, my X Factor for tonight for the Tigers is senior linebacker Jake Pruitt. 33 total tackles with 22 solos, very impressive. He has 2 TFLs. He's been a monster. He's been tearing up the backfields this year. The linebacker core in itself has been outstanding and has really stepped up this year for the defense. I've been very impressed from that, and I can't wait to watch Jake play tonight. I think he's going to really tear apart that Orioles offensive line.
And I think you guys already know who I'm going to pick for this. I mean, Bennett Gorak, the man himself. I mean, he's been in this game the past. I mean, he's been a little unstoppable, I can't lie. I mean, especially in the second half of the Brownsburg game, you can kind of just see he knew he had to take over the game, and he did. Let's get into a little bit of his stats. So, 78 for 128 passes. That's just a little over 60% completion rate for Bennett Gorak. I mean, anything over 50%, we're looking pretty solid. I think it's a lot of fun to be able to see him make these completions and have fun while he does it. I mean, it's a lot of fun to see. His total passing yards, a little bit over 1,000 yards, 1,096 to be exact. I mean, that's just a great stat. Only 4 games into the season. I mean, 1,000 yards. insane. 250 yards per game. I mean, average, that's just insane. He's also third in the conference passing yards. I mean, with a conference so packed of strong QBs such as Jackson Gilbert and Chandler Weston, I mean, Bennett Gorak being right up there in the top 3, it's very impressive to see our Tiger up there. You know, he's got 8 touchdown passes, 4 rushing touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions on the 4 games. Sam?
Yeah, Bennett, he's a great player, and for my X factor, I'm going to go with wide receiver Noah McPeak. McPeak, he's third on this team in receiving yards per game, but he is first in receiving touchdowns with 3. That might surprise some people being over John Anthony Hall, but, you know, he really shines when he gets in the red zone. He's a little secret weapon for Bennett Gorak for when the team gets close to the end zone, and he really shines there. McPeak can really give this offense another weapon alongside John Anthony Hall, and he just gives Bennett Gorak some pieces to deal with.
I mean, well said there, Sam. Really well said.
Yeah, Noah's been huge in the red zone this year. He and Bennett have played together crazy long time, all the way back from like 6th, 7th grade. Their chemistry's great. He's got a lot of trust in him. He knows he can get the ball to him, and the red zone target there, it's awesome. I love watching him.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got quite an interesting segment for you today. We're going to have another guest on, Coach Weiniger on. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of insight. Weiniger, come on over. Let's give a warm welcome here for Coach Weiniger. I mean, what an outstanding season you guys have had so far, and we're excited to ask you some questions here. So let's talk about some summer work. What summer work has the Tigers been putting in?
Yeah, so in the summer we practice 4 days a week, lift, and then obviously play a lot of games. We had some success this summer, went 11-0, and really saw a lot of growth in our guys from last year.
Love to hear it, love to hear it. And I know we have a few basketball players on the football roster. If you want to touch on them and just how much effort and work they're putting into the team, and just especially one of them playing both sides of the ball, I mean, that's got to be fun for you to see, and see them through 2 different sports is pretty impressive.
Yeah, obviously, you know, to play football and basketball at this level just speaks to their work ethic. You know, to do enough to be a contributor and key players in both sports, it really takes a lot of time and energy. So, you know, to see Hayworth, like you said, play both sides of the ball and really step up defensively after being an offensive player, you know, on the line most of his career, I think he just kind of makes everything go and is a leader out there. Obviously, we've seen John Anthony make a ton of huge plays this year. I don't think, from what I've seen, I don't think there's a defensive back in the state who can guard him. You know, he's the most dynamic player on the field most nights. And then obviously last week you saw Millen step up with Cyrus being out. You saw Millen step up and have a huge game. So all those guys and our other basketball guys who play football, it's fun for me. You know, I love football, so it's fun to be able to come out here on Friday nights and watch our guys that play basketball really compete on the field as well.
And I know we had a few players out, Leo Morrow especially in our secondary there. How much of an effect do you think that's going to play on tonight's game, having Leo back there?
I think it's huge. You know, I think he not only covers well, he comes up and makes big hits, you know, and helps in the run game. So I think it's really going to help. I think the biggest thing for us moving forward is just getting everybody healthy, and I think we got as good a chance of anybody as we hit the sectional here for the football team.
I love to hear that, and I think I'm right there with you. So let's talk a little bit about our upcoming season. How does the team look?
I think we got a chance to be really good. You know, we have a lot of guys back who played last year. We were really young last year, played a lot of juniors and sophomores. So, you know, last year went 14-12. 9 of those 12 losses, 1-possession games in the last minute of the game, 4 of them in overtime, just kind of going through the process of maturing and learning how to win, and I think we're there now. Seen a lot of huge growth individually in all these guys in the offseason. I think it's going to pay off. So, you know, I think it's an exciting time for Fishers.
I love to hear it. We appreciate it, Weiniger. If you want to get out there, you know, have some fun out there. Good luck out there, and thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir. Yep. Hey. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Tiger cage behind us is going crazy. Guess what? Our favorite time. The Tigers are running out on the field, and look at them run, gentlemen. They're ready. They're electric. They're fiery. I mean, I got to tell you, this is fun to watch. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
That is food. Picks? All right, we're going to start out with our game picks around the conference. Starting off with HSC at Zionsville. Obviously, you know I'm going with the Eagles, and I'm going to pick them to win 28-21 over those Royals.
Our next game is Noblesville versus Franklin Central. This is gonna be a great matchup. Noblesville runs the ball a lot. Franklin Central likes to pass the ball a lot, so it's gonna be it should be a high-scoring game. I'm gonna take the Flashes here. I think Franklin Central pulls this one through. It's gonna be a close matchup. I'm gonna go 32-24. I'm really excited to see the outcome of that one.
And moving on to our third, we've got Westfield versus Brownsburg. Gentlemen, I got to tell you, I think I'm going to go with the Bulldogs on this one. I saw them play last week, and they just got a few players on their team that are just freak athletes. I mean, fast, through the line of scrimmage. I mean, once they get past that secondary, it's really hard to stop them. I'm going to go Brownsburg over Westfield on this one. And score prediction, I'm going to say it's going to be fairly low scoring. I'll give it 21-14. They got some strong defenses on both ends.
You know, I agree fully there. I think Brownsburg, they're the better team. They're going to win. Moving into the next game, Lawrence North versus Ben Davis. Ben Davis, they're easily the better team. I mean, they're getting national recognition with the game against IMG, one of the best high schools in the nation in terms of sports. So I think this is going to be a bloodbath. Ben Davis, I'm going to go 49, Lawrence North 21.
And Carmel versus North Central. I mean, these two teams looking solid this year. I think I'm going to go with Carmel on this one. I think they're going to take the win over North Central. I'm going to go 35-28. A close scoring game. And ladies and gentlemen, let's see tonight's game. Avon versus Fishers. Ethan?
Yeah, so it's going to be a really fun matchup. Like I said, high-powered offense on Fisher's side, also high-powered defense. Avon has struggled this year, but they've also been very close. They've been in couple one-possession games. They've held strong throughout very many of their games. So I think it's be a little bit closer than people think due to some injuries and Fishers. So I'm gonna go, I'll say 35-28 here. I'm rolling with the Tigers.
I mean, that's classic. Who's not rolling with the Tigers today? I agree with Ethan. I think this game will be closer than a lot of people expect. A lot of people are writing off Avon this year, but like earlier, they lost by 3 to Franklin Central last year, and that's just kind of been the story of their season, losing in close games. So I think this game is going to be close. I'm still going to roll with the Tigers, of course. I'm going to go 42-28.
I love it.
Now, gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about this game, just a little bit more. What do you say? I mean, we've got our Tigers warming up here. I think Avon, like Ryan was touching on, Avon, I mean, I feel like we're almost predicted to win, of course, the Tigers are, but I think Avon's going to put on a surprising show tonight, and I think it's still going to be a fun game to watch. I also wanted to touch on that. I've been to every game this year, and every single one has been fun to watch. I haven't had a game, even the first few, I mean, I don't want to say they were blowouts, but gentlemen, they were blowouts. I mean, but they were still fun to watch, and just seeing our team kind of progress through the next couple games and through these past games has just been really fun to see, and you can definitely see the improvement, the chemistry between players. I mean, everything comes together, and they're just getting better and better at it every time. Sam?
Yep, I agree. Fishers, they've gotten better throughout the year, and for that, I'm taking the Tigers over the Orioles. Again, there's no other option. I think this is going to be a blowout. It's our homecoming game. We're not going to lose on our home field. I'm going to go Fishers 49, the Avon Orioles 7. 49-7. Huge game offensively, huge game defensively. Bennett Gorak going for 350 passing yards. John Anthony Hall, a touchdown. Noah McPeak, a touchdown. Millen McCartney, a touchdown. And Bennett's he's gonna run it himself a couple times. So yeah, 49-7.
Some very powerful words there by Sam, but I have to tell you, I'm gonna agree with them. I think that the Tigers are taking the W, and score prediction here, I'm gonna give 35-14. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got an interesting segment, a news segment, if you will. We're gonna be eating some food here on Gameday. We might get some guests from the stands. Let's see what we've got here. Gentlemen?
Yeah, we got some food here, some tailgate food from Tiger Town that we're bringing on, do some taste testing.
Yeah, our awesome producers Andrew and Campbell have brought us some food. Hey, can you guys explain to us what we have here?
All right, so let's see here. We got, obviously, some chips, and we got some classic Crane queso over here. We've got a sour cream and, let's see, that looks like black olive dip, also with some corn and stuff dip.
Yep.
Feta cheese, it looks what it looks like. I just went and grabbed things, so you guys enjoy it.
I gotta tell you, Andrew, I'm not sure what any of this stuff is, but it sure does look good, and I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat this. Gentlemen, I say we give a little review of each thing we try. Let's start out here with the queso. I mean, there's queso all around. I mean, you know, you've got Moe's, you've got Condado, and now you've got food trucks. I mean, let's give it a try and see what we think. What do you say?
I'm giving it a 10. I'm giving it a 10. It's outstanding.
I mean, Ethan has said it here. I mean, give your thoughts on it, Ethan.
It's outstanding. It's perfect for me. Perfect texture, everything about it. I love it. I'm gonna give it a 10.
This is the best chip I've ever had. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Well, I gotta tell you, I think it's a little bit below the best I've ever had, but it's certainly really good. And I think for a food truck, I mean, for this to come out of a food truck,
Hey,
I'm giving another chip.
I
I mean, if I had to rate this out of 10, I'd agree.
Amazing. I can't really think of a queso that tops this. Like Sam said, this could be the best queso I've ever had in my life.
Wow, some powerful words.
The texture. It's the texture.
I mean, he's 2 chips in, and it sounds like he's in love. I mean, this is a lot of fun. The queso itself, I mean, we haven't even moved on to our next foods yet. Gentlemen, what do you say we move on? Let's give some, yeah, let's give that a try. So we've got some corn. I mean,
We don't have any forks or anything, so we're just gonna use the chips.
the best chips in the world. You heard it here first. Wow. I mean, those are some hefty bites from our gentleman here on the table. Ethan, give us your rating out of 10.
That is excellent.
This is a nice, solid, hard 8.5 right there. That is outstanding. I got no complaints.
Yeah, that is phenomenal. Straight phenomenal. I've only had Mexican street corn one other time in my life from my sister. Shout out Emma. But this is way better. I'm giving it a 9.4 flat out of 10.
You know, I'm sitting here, and I'm looking at the food on the table, and I'm looking behind me in the tiger cage, and I'm thinking, who else does it like this but the Fisher's Tigers? I mean, we've got Mexican food on game day. I mean, the corn, I mean, the queso, and we haven't even moved on to I don't even know what this is, sour cream dip, but it looks insane. It looks awesome. Yeah, I mean, Sam, let's hear your thoughts on the corn. My rating for the corn out of 10, I'm going to give it a 7, 8. Not because I don't think it was above 8, but because I like the number 7 better.
I'm disagreeing on that one.
Yeah.
Gotta be over a 9.
I'm disagreeing on that one.
All right. I mean, people have their disagreements. I've had better corn. I mean,
I have had better corn. Not sure what's in it, but whatever it is, it's really good. I'm gonna give it a 9.8 out of 10. I mean, it would be a 10 out of 10, but I had the queso before. It kind of ruined my palate, so 9.8.2. I mean, yeah, it's not quite 10, but 9.8.
I mean, wow. I mean, again, what else do you need to know? Come down, get the food. Come to the tailgate. Try the food. You could be doing what we're doing right now. I mean,
It's the best environment around, dude. Nothing beats Tiger Town out here.
but we're not done. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not done. We've got a little bit of sour cream, cheese, and olive dip. I don't know what those 3 mixed together is called, but it looks delicious. Gentlemen, give that a try. Let's see what we think here. Let's see what we think.
That's what it looks like. You got some olives, cheese in there.
I've never really been one for olives, but I'll just, we'll see. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. Not a fan. Well, hello.
Uh-oh.
We're trying some of our food here. You want some chips? Yeah, let me give you a chip.
No.
Let me give you a chip.
That's pretty good.
There you
I
go.
like that.
Have that. That's for you. Have fun.
It's too spicy.
Yeah.
It's got a little,
Yeah.
it's got a hint to it.
I mean, honestly, I think that I would like this, but I don't. I'm gonna give it a 4.2. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm not a fan of this. I mean, I've never been a fan of olive, never been a fan of sour cream. I mean, I'm honestly done. Gentlemen, what do you think?
I did have 2 bites, one with an olive, one without an olive, and I'll tell you, the olive did ruin it. The olive was a game changer. If you have this with just the sour cream, just the rice, it's a 7-8. No. It's a 7-2. It's a 7-2. Then you add the olive, it's a 1-4. I'm sorry, it's a 1-4 with the olive. It was not good. A little too spicy for me. I've never been one for a spice. So yeah.
I mean, the 9-8 to the 1-4, a brutal change. But, I mean, the olive spoke for itself. I mean, what more is there to say, Ryan?
I got a strong disagree with these guys here. I don't know what their taste buds are on right now, but I'm going to stick with I'm going to go 8-3 here. I like it a lot. It does have a little bit of a kick to it. It's very creamy, but I like it a lot. I'm giving it a solid 8-3.
Sorry, I can't stop eating the corn. The corn's amazing. That is also amazing. Like Sam, I'm not an olive guy. I don't like olives. So you don't eat it with the olives, okay? I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. The sour cream okay. The sour cream adds a level of like freshness. It just really makes it pop. It is delicious without the olives. 10 out of 10, amazing.
And gentlemen, just when we thought it was over, supposedly, we've got some more eats for us. We've got our very own rotisserie chicken.
It's not a rotisserie chicken.
What is it now?
It's not a rotisserie chicken. It is an Avon Oriole. You'll see here in a second. We're getting it out. We have an Oriole on set, and we have some guests to eat it. Our very own Tiger Cage will be on here eating the Avon Oriole.
This is an Avon Oriole. We are. Oh,
I'll have to get in there with my hands.
take a nice bite. See,
Take a big.
this is what the Tigers are gonna do to the Avon Oriole. See. That's so good. Victory has never tasted so good.
This
Just
is
that
Avon
simple.
tonight.
Let's go hot. Put some queso on it.
Some queso.
You're gonna get a nice little case.
There's no.
Yeah.
That's what Bennett Gorak is going to do to Avon.
That's right. That's right.
Say that again, Sam.
I said this is what Bennett Gorak is going to do to Avon tonight. He is going to eat through the defense. The D-line will be gone by tonight.
I think that's some bold words there by Sam, but I got to tell you, I got to agree. I mean, we've got the chicken hanging by a thread, literally. I think that's what's going to happen here to our Orioles.
Tastes like a win. It tastes like a win.
Tastes like a W. You heard it here first. If you want to dip that in Sam's favorite queso of all time, that might be a good idea. What are you thinking there, Colin, about that?
Not going to lie, he's onto something. I give a solid rating of a 9 out of 10. That is very good queso. I think the only place beating that queso is burritos and beer.
I have to agree with you. I'd have to agree with you. I mean,
Roll Tigers, baby. Roll Tigers.
Yeah, roll Tigers. I mean, you saw what we're going to do to them. I've never had Oriole before, but it tastes great. So let's go Tigers, baby. Do not bet against 14.
Roll Tigers all day and night.
well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really looking forward to this game tonight. We've got some pink to throw on. We've got a spot in the student section. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This has been Ethan Poto.
Sam Keithley.
Ethan Gardner, thank you for watching.
And Ryan Mitchell. Peace out, guys. Have a good night.
Do not bet against 14.
That went bad. That could have been bad, but we were. When Weiniger wasn't on there. Wonderful job.
Wait, you guys just
Weiniger was late. We were stalling for like 5 minutes because Weiniger didn't show up.